Click that, a ghosty. Hi, Marge. So guys, we're on our way to White Springs Fishery. It's White Springs Masters Final today. So it's a lovely little match that Chris Wells has been running. He's been running, you pay an extra tenner. If you enter his open matches, you pay an extra tenner. And if you win the match, you then qualify for the Masters Final. So, but you've got to win the match to qualify, which is a good little concept, to be fair. And it's nice to have an extra good match to fish local. So we're on our way there now. It's all on the canal today. So hopefully we'll throw a good peg and we can do some damage. But the temperature's dropped quite dramatically really the last couple of days. It's gone from sort of, you know, 13 degrees to sort of, what is it, 7.5 degrees now at the moment. So temperature's a little bit down, so we don't know how it's going to fish, but we'll get down there, we'll have a little look, hopefully draw a flyer, and the rest will be history. But I'll speak to you when I get to the peg now. Here's a peg we've drawn, peg 26. It's in the middle of the island, got a point that way and a point that way, plenty of space. Hopefully we catch a few fish. So after an early look in the edge for an early carp, it felt like that was going to be important to catch some early carp. And no bites. I was soon out to the island, tapping in pellets, up against the bank. Now as you can see, I hooked the fish straight away out here, but the bank's very, very undercut against this island, and as soon as I hooked it, it darted into the bank and got caught up in all the roots and all the stuff that's under the bank. So unfortunately for me, the first fish I hooked, I've had to pull for a break on, which is not always great when you're looking for that sort of good start and a couple of fish in the net. But still going to plod along out on that island and see if I can catch a few early fish.
it's leaking out.
Some of yours were wrong.
Lemon. Take a nest of them.
Huh?
Take a nest of them the way through.
Ah, that's not any good, is it? Stand that one next door.
There's actually more in the middle, I think. This one.
Wells, you know that.
Yeah. Two carp up there.
So I had a bite first cast on our short line. It's only a small hide, but everything's welcome at the moment. Because to be honest with you, it's just over an hour in, and I'm really struggling. I've got that one skimmer and a one hide. So I'm falling behind a bit because there's probably 5 or 6 carp is probably the best on the lake. So I'm way behind, and at this time I need something to kick in, or one of my swims to kick in. But the middle part of the match on this canal is normally the hardest part, so I'm really up against it now. So when I couldn't get any more bites on our short line, I went back out long, picked the catapult up and started feeding quite heavy with maggots, trying to make something happen, because at the moment I was falling behind and I really felt like I needed to make something happen in the middle of the match. How can you? I don't understand that. Is that a maggot line? Dropped on it, never had a fucking bite. Dropped on some pellets and caught a fucking straight away. Huh? Maggots on the hook. So just coming up to the 2 hour mark now, and although I've got a few fish in the net, I'm starting to catch fairly okay at the moment. It's only little hide and a very odd skimmer, but using the catapult and loose feeding maggots quite heavily, sort of 20 to 30 maggots at a time, not really ever putting the catapult down, has made a big difference and dragged a lot of fish into the swim. So fishing a 4x10 rig, it's only sort of 3.5 foot worm fishing a little tapered bulk, and just laying the rig in constantly and loose feeding those maggots, and it's getting a really good response, and I'm catching quite quickly now. Not mega, but quick enough that I can put a little bit of weight in the net, and hopefully I'll catch some carp later on. So at this point, I was catching fairly well. I was catching odd-eyed, very odd skimmer, but the skimmers were quite big. They were sort of a pound plus. And where I'm loose feeding those maggots quite heavily, it's definitely making a difference. But what I think it's done is it's dragged a few fish up in the water. As you can see in this clip, I jumped off my box, went into my bag, got a new top kit out, and was going to set up a shallow rig. Just because even in 3.5 foot of water, with a little 4x10 and a tapered bulk, just dropping the rig through, I felt like there was fish higher than that and up in the upper layers of the water. And because I was behind, I really wanted to sort of make the most of it and make hay when the sun shines, as they say. So got off my box, set up a new rig, a little 3x8 set at 2 foot deep, and just got a couple of number 11s down the line, strung out, and thought I better give it a go and see if I can catch these eyed a little bit quicker.
That's working, Rob. It's working, bye. You would catch on that fucker. You would catch him doing that. Oh. That's not a carp. Huh?
So now I'm catching really well. I'm really starting to motor, catching an eider chuck with an odd skimmer mixed in. And I think that was the best decision I made in this match, was getting up off my box and setting that little 3x8 up, those strung out 11s. And I think that's really been a game changer. Although I was catching quite quickly earlier, I was probably on for a sort of a £30 weight of silvers, but this is twice as quick. Do you mean I'm really motoring, really catching well, and with this rig and catching them shallow, it's just getting quicker and quicker. Now over this next sort of hour and a bit, I feel like I can build a real good weight and catch up with those couple of people that caught those carp early, because as normally happens on this canal, those carp have shut up shop a little bit and are not feeding and gone into a bit of a moody state, which normally happens in this canal in the middle part of the matches. Towards the end, they'll come back on the feed. So I'm just going to concentrate on this now, see if I can catch as many silvers as I can in this next sort of hour and a bit, and then hopefully catch some carp late in the match. But if I can get up somewhere around about the £50 mark, I think I'll be catching up with those boys that have caught a few carp. So we'll stick to this now and see if we can catch a few. Oh, it's a shame, lad. It's a shame. No one likes to see our boy. So this line was starting to fade now, and starting to fade really quick, and bites were getting harder and harder to come by. Now I've had a really good spell on this line for an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25 minutes. I caught an eider or a skimmer every single chuck, but now it was really starting to fade. But as I was thinking about resting my line, I've gone out, laid the rig in, and the elastics come out, and I hooked the carp. Now I've not had any carp at all at the start of this match, just silverfish, and although I thought I was on for a really good weight of silvers, this carp is really going to bump my weight up a little bit and keep me ticking along. So I really wanted to get this carp in, take my time, land it, because I thought like it was a real bonus. And I'm only fishing light for eider and skimmers, so I wanted to take my time and make sure I get this carp in. take him out of the live rig, do I, mad?
What?
I don't want him to take him out of the live rig. Fucking hell, man. Matt, what the fuck is going on here now?
Can't you keep that today?
Fucking hell, man. I'm gonna change the hook clamp now. So I really felt that this was a really important fish. It's going to bump my weight up a little bit. It felt a real big fish. So really wanted to take my time, make sure I get it in the bag and not really do anything stupid like putting too much pressure on it or trying to rush it. Just take my time and make sure I get it. Up she pops and she's in the bag. And that's what you need to do when you're fishing light gear, is just take your time and make sure you get those big bonus fish in.
Just knocked my fucking microphone in the fucking water. Yeah.
So after I landed that carp on that long line, there was no more bites forthcoming. As quick as those fish had turned up, they'd gone again. So I dropped in on my short line, 5 metres out, where I'd been throwing a few maggots. And first drop, I've had a real decent skimmer. And I thought, well, if I can keep catching these for another hour, then maybe I could catch sort of a big weight of silvers and nick a few carp late and really be in for a chance of this match. But as it normally happens, I've got in, I caught that skimmer quickly, and although I did miss another bite, it was quite hard to get another fish. As I was just about to move on this line and give it a rest and try for some carp, the float's gone under and I've hooked another fish. It was only another hide, but it was most welcome when the bites were starting to fade away from me. Now as I landed that hide, I picked up my head and I seen a big ghost carp swimming down the island, and I just thought to myself I couldn't miss this opportunity. So I picked up my mugging rig, armed it with 2 casters, went out there, flicked the rig at it with the accuracy of Luke Littler, and wham, I got him. Started playing this fish and I thought, well, this is my second carp I've hooked. I really need to get this in. So started playing it nice and tidy, nice and gently, try and make sure that this counted. You know, at the end of the day, I've only seen one fish swim around all match. So it was a bit of a bonus, this was. And if I could get it in, it'd make a real difference.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised I haven't caught a few on that maggot line, like. You know, fishing shallow out there, you think you catch an odd one, wouldn't you? Yeah. That bad's empty, isn't it, boy? Yeah? Close to a ton. Pissed it. That's not a ghosty, could be something else to take me for it. Mad, isn't it? Look at that, a ghosty. Hi, Marge. We got a chance of a default section, Dan? Have we got a chance of a default section with Marge?
So there's less than an hour left to go, and I thought I need some carp. I've dropped it on my meat line, hoping to catch some big units and real catch up the front runners. First drop in, float's buried, and I got a carp on.
30 minutes left? 30. Oh, fucking hell. You was fighting that like just fucking 30 minutes ago, like. Mad, isn't it? Still catching, boy? Huh?
No, you had one little pop.
No, I've only had that one fucking bite, haven't I?
Yeah. Oh, 2 bites. Hold it.
So I've had to wait a little bit for bites, but when I've had them, they've been carp. So there's just over half hour left now, and I've had 2 carp on the short meat line, and I'm hoping it'll carry on. But I'm going to big pot this edge and have a real good go to try and finish with a bit of a flurry.
Listen to him, Rob, he's abused a lot of drugs over the years.
Come on, you can. Come on, I'm not fucking long. So you're back in there.
Yeah, we'll try to go one more if we get it so quick.
Then you gotta come out. Maybe a pup with this, well now.
Both fish I've had on our meat line have been real good fish and real weight builders, and I've bumped my weight up no end. But I just feel that I'm waiting too long for bites. I'm going to give it one more cast, one more drop in on that line, and then I'm going to fill that edge in and hopefully have a flurry of fish to end. So I give it another go, and just as I'm about to leave it and go down that edge, the float's buried and the elastic's out. Ship it in, hoping it's going to be a big unit, but it doesn't feel like it. And when I go to net it, I realise it's a big skimmer and it's not the carp that I want. So I need to get down that edge, fill it in, and hopefully have a run of fish down that edge.
You missed the fucking net.
Fuck's sake. What's happening here, Dan?
So there's no messing about. I'm looking for a grandstand finish here. There's only about 25 minutes to go. I've just big potted the edge. And I'm going to go straight over the top of it. 4 dead maggots. Hoping that a big old unit is there waiting. And hoping that I can bump my weight up. I'll get down there, float berries straight away, and I'm in. But unfortunately, it's not a carp. It's a big skimmer. And it's not the fish that I wanted. So in the dying moments, I'm hoping that it flies under and there's a big carp on it. It bangs under, but the elastic's out, but it doesn't feel like the big unit that I wanted. And I think that's going to be the end of the match. Now, it is a good skimmer, and it does bump my weight up a little bit, but I feel like I'm a little bit off the pace.
Well done, Mards, bye. So guys, here we are on my drive home now, and White Springs Masters 2024 has come to an end. How did my match go? I felt like I'd done okay. Probably felt like I should have caught a few carp in that first hour where I never really caught anything. Just that one fish that done me under the bank on the island, but felt like I should have caught a few more carp. Probably should have fished pellets everywhere to start. Should have fished pellets against the island, pellets down the edge. I think that was a mistake. Tried to fish meat, and I think it's still a little bit too early for meat. But caught a few fish on it, but not like you normally do. You know, Nick couldn't line anything up. Had to wait long for bites and things like that. That silvers line was brilliant. I've had probably 70 pound of silvers today. I weighed 115 pounds 6 ounces, and I think that middle part of the match, catching those silvers, really was where I've sort of managed to catch up with everyone else, because I was well behind after the first hour or so. You know, with people having 6 or 7 carp on the lake, so I was well behind there. But those silvers really pulled me back into it, so you know, that was well worth doing. That was. So 115 pounds 6 ounces, second in the match. Baz Bright has won the match from peg 6, which apparently he's had a bit of form recently, which is, it's not normally a peg you want to draw, but the boys down here are saying he's got a little bit of form at the moment. But well done to Baz, weighed 133 pound. I think he's caught everything on pellets, so brilliant result that is for Baz. And then all the other framers, big well done to them, and hopefully I'll get back into this final next year and have another go at it. But seconds not to be sniffed at, and you know, it was a good payout all the way through to sort of 5th place. So I've had a nice £500 for my troubles, and it's nothing to be grumbled at. So, and I always enjoy going to White Springs. So there we are, guys. Until next time, I'll see you soon.